cross-legged seated position, crossing at the shins and the outer edges of the feet connected to the floor. And I'll have you rock back and forward on the pelvis a couple times, moving through concave and convex, and just feeling your spine. And then as you're ready, come to a place of stillness in which you are upright on the sit bones and lifting tall through spine and sides of the waist, floating up through the neck and the crown of the head. Squeeze the shoulders up to the ears, just hug them up in there, and then roll them and allow them to melt down the back. And we can rest the palms on top of the thighs. And for a few breath cycles, you can close your eyes or you can allow the gaze to be softly forward. And we'll inhale and exhale through the nose, back of the throat, and we'll feel and follow the pathway of the breath into the lungs and the belly. So take a breath, let everything out, let it go, empty it out. And we begin by breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and releasing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest, and in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and release. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest at the bottom. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. And out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And rest. So continue to breathe at your own pace, but with the awareness of the breath traveling in through the nose, the back of the throat, through the lungs, the belly, and that slight compression of the low abdomen to release that exhale out the same pathway, evening the rhythm of the inhale with the rhythm of the exhale. And this rhythm of breathing is what drives and initiates the movement of the body into, out of, and within the postures that we'll be moving through today. So really allow that integration of mind, breath, body as we move through our practice. And if you'd like to set an intention for your practice today, now is the perfect time. It could be energetic, spiritual, physical, strength, balance, fitness, ease, peace. Yeah. I'm working with that same sense of inner freedom through radical self-acceptance. So just really cleansing out anything that doesn't fall under that category. Cool. All right, so let us begin. Set your breath up. Be present with your intention for your practice. And take a deep inhale. As you exhale, release the fingertips to the mat and start to walk them back behind you. Okay. So as you do this, you're drawing the shoulder heads down the back and the elbows are squeezing in toward each other. So there's a nice opening in the front of the chest. Breathe here for a couple breath cycles. And then as you're ready, if it feels good, you can walk the fingertips back a little further. You can also bring the palms of the hands to the mat with the fingertips facing out or the fingertips facing straight back. And as you do this, the elbows are continuing to roll in toward each other. The chest continues to lift up and out of the pelvis. Relax the neck and allow the breath to be full and smooth. Beautiful. We'll stay here for a couple more breath cycles and see if you can Relax the creases of the hips and the inner thighs, and allow the support to be from the low abdomen and the high abdomen, closing through the rib cage. So not tension in the hips, but rather core and back, lifting high through sides of the waist. Good, one more inhale. As you exhale, come back through center and bring the hands back to tops of the thighs. Inhale, sweep the fingers to sky. Exhale, side bend to the left, arcing up and over. And we'll remain here for a few breaths as well. The right hip anchors down into the mat, palms press into each other to reach fingertips up and away. Shoulder blades slide down the back to remain open through the chest, long through the neck. Allow this arc to be supported by a strong core, firming belly button in and up. One more inhale. On the exhale, release the bottom hand to the mat. Fingertips, palm, or forearm, just depending on where your body's at today. Shoulders down the back. We'll remain here for a couple breath cycles, allowing the breath to carry us further into the opening through the sides of the waist, the rib cage. And now we'll flow with the breathing on the exhale from the core, rotating the chest down toward the mat. On the inhale, lifting up, lift the elbow, lift the rib cage, rotate open. Exhale, contract, rotate down. Inhale, lift, open, expand. Exhale, contract, face the mat. Inhale, pressing into the mat, opening through chest. Exhale. And on this inhale, we'll remain in the open position here. The gaze is lifted, both shoulder heads rolling down the back, expansive through the chest and strong through the core. One more inhale. On the exhale, rotating back down to the mat. And on the inhale, moving through center, reaching both hands up toward the ceiling. Exhale, palms together, heart center. Inhale, sweeping fingers side and up. Exhale, side bend, arc up and over. And we'll remain here for a few breaths. Shoulder blades anchor down the back, rooting into the mat through that left hip in order to lift higher through the side of the waist. Firming belly button to spine, low abs firm in, supporting the front of the body. Find a steady rhythm of breath. And on the exhale, releasing the bottom arm to the mat. And that could be fingertips, palm, or start to lower the forearm down. All variations are welcome. Be present with your body. Your left hip stays rooted down into the mat, long through both sides of the waist. Steady gaze. Continue to find length through the arm that's reaching high, long through the spine. And we'll start to flow. On the exhale, contract, rotating ribcage and nose toward the mat. Inhale, pressing into the mat, lifting through elbow, chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, contracting from the center of the body, face the mat. Inhale, lift, rise, and open. Exhale. Warming up the core, offering fluidity into the shoulders and the spine. Nice rooted energy through the hips. On this last one, we rise and remain here for a few breaths. Lifting tall through the spine, gentle gaze upward. Breath is full and smooth. One more inhale. As you exhale, contract, rotate back down to the mat. Inhale, this time lifting all the way back up, reaching for sky. And exhale, palms together at heart center. Inhale, lift tall through the spine. Exhale, fold forward from a long spine, halfway. Fingertips outstretched before you. Inhale here. And exhale into any variation that works well for your body. That could mean you rest on a block. You can come to the forearms. You can use your palms and your hands as a pillow. Or you can bring your forehead down to the mat. Staying as long as possible through the spine. Rooting into the mat through the tailbone and the sit bones and pressing firmly through the palms. The fingers are wide and the shoulder blades broaden away from each other. Allow the breath to be full and smooth and create an opening through the back body. Perhaps allowing gravity to carry you a little further into your stretch as you remain here for a few breaths. Beautiful. On the inhale, lift the gaze, and on the exhale, start to walk yourself over to the left side. Just coming to the edge of the range of motion, and then allow yourself to release into the posture. We come to the very edges of our limitations and gently start to play with them. And that's how we create expansion and further growth and flexibility. Continuing to root down into the mat through the right hip, drawing the shoulder heads down the back so we can stay long through the neck, out through crown of the head. And if you feel inspired to do so, you're welcome to continue walking a little further as your body relaxes and elongates into this posture. Belly button firms in to support the spine. One more inhale. As you exhale, walk yourself through center to the other side, firmly supported by the core. Again, finding the edge of your range of motion and working with your body from there. Connected to the floor through both palms, fingers are wide. Shoulders firmly down the back. The neck is long. You're welcome to allow the breath to carry you a little deeper into the rotation, into the descent and the stretch if it feels right. One more inhale. As you exhale, walk yourself back through center. Rise up to halfway on the inhale. And exhale, return yourself back to an upright seated position. Inhale. Exhale, rotating from the core of the body toward the left wall. Inhale, placing hand on the outer thigh. And exhale, further into the rotation. The left hand can rest on the hip or it can reach around you. Fingertips to floor, palm to floor, or wrapped around into the crease of the hip. All variations are welcome. Firming in and up through the low abdomen, lifting tall through chest. The gaze softly over the left shoulder. The inhale creates elongation. Exhale further into the rotation. Allow the spiraling action to begin in the pelvis and rise up through the spine, crown of the head. Squeeze and soak action for the spine. One more inhale. And as you exhale with mindfulness, return to the center. Inhale. Exhale from the core of the body, rotating toward the right. Inhale, placing the hand on the back of the thigh. Exhale further into the rotation. You can rest the hand on ribcage, hip, or take it behind you. Fingertips to floor. Palm to floor, or hand wrapped around the inside edge of the hip. The gaze is gently over the back shoulder. Widen through the collarbones, lift high through the crown of the head. Strong through the core as you breathe and rotate. Staying present with the rhythm of your breathing and remembering the intention you've set for your practice today. See if you can embody that energy within every cell of your body as you are in this posture. One more inhale. Exhale with mindfulness, returning back to center. From here, we will remain seated but extend the legs outward, one at a time, into Dandasana, staff pose. So make sure that you are sitting upright on the sit bones, flexing through both feet. We are soft in the knee joints even as the legs descend down into the earth. And from the very base of the spine and the pelvis, firming in and up to lift tall through crown of the head. And from here, we'll take an inhale. Exhale, once again, walk the fingertips back behind you. The elbows are curling in toward each other as the shoulder heads roll back. You can remain with fingertips on the floor. You can also bring the palms of the hands to the mat, right beneath the shoulders. And even as we create opening here, we're firming in through the front abdomen to support the lift. And we're still flexing forward through the feet, through the heels and the balls of the feet. So a very active, strong, steady stance here. A balance between opening and strength. And the breath is smooth. Allow the gaze to be softly forward and focused. Beautiful. One more inhale. And on the exhale, come back through center, palms together. Inhale, reaching both hands, fingers to sky. And exhale, forward fold from the crease in the hips halfway. You can remain in this posture, supported by hands on the mat, hands on the shins. Or, if you'd like to go a little further on the exhale, continue through a supported spine forward. Hands can rest alongside the feet. Or if it feels good, you can hook them around the arches or balls of the feet. Whichever variation you're in, strong through the upper body, supported by the core, soft in the backs of the knees. And breathing into the opening. Being mindful of the rhythm of your breath here. Staying still and focused in the mind. Present with all areas of the body, those of discomfort, those of space and flexibility, of stability. We can play with the edges of limitation here. Just make sure that it's not painful. Breathe. One more inhale, and as you exhale, use your hands and your core to return to an upright, seated position. This time we will hug the right knee in, placing sole of foot on the mat. So as we're here, you can remain with the foot on the inside edge of the knee, or you can place it on the outside edge of the knee. Either way is fine, as long as we can remain upright on the pelvis and long through the spine. Flexing through the left foot, we inhale, lifting left arm to sky. Exhale from the core of the body, rotating to the right wall. From here, coming into any variation that feels good to you. That can be a hug around the shin and the outer thigh, fingertips to mat. That can also be a right angle of the elbow on top of the thigh, fingertips or palm to mat. All is well, as long as we are strong through the leg, lifted upright through the spine, and open through the chest. Find a smooth and steady, spacious breath here. We're exploring a little more deeply into rotation, but we want to maintain the integrity of the breath, even as we go deeper. If you can't breathe, you've gone a little too far. Keep that right knee lifting up toward the ceiling as you press down through the sole of the foot. Rolling the shoulders back, finding a nice strong lift through the chest. One more inhale. As you exhale with mindfulness, returning to center. We'll take the right leg still at an angle, placing sole of the foot on the inside edge of the thigh and allowing that knee to descend down toward the mat. If you'd like a block or a pillow beneath the thigh here to create ease for the hip, that's absolutely okay. Recheck that you are upright on your sit bones, tall through the spine. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward halfway. And once again, find a variation that works well for your body. That can be fingertips or palms to mat, strong core. That can mean coming down to the forearms. Or you can explore a little further forward, nose to shin, and hooking hands around the arch or the ball of a flexed foot. Continue to allow that right knee to open and descend toward the mat, reaching the spine long and away out of the pelvis, up through crown of the head. The breath is smooth and steady, and perhaps you can allow that to carry you further into the hip opening and the strength of the core. Shoulder blades melt down the back. Staying present with your breath and the intention you've set for your practice. A couple more breath cycles here. Maybe a little further into your pose. And on the exhale, walking yourself back up to an upright seated position. We'll elongate through that right leg, back out alongside the left. And this time we'll hug the left knee in. Sole of the foot resting on the inside edge or on the outside edge, whatever allows us not to contract into this rounded position here. So upright on the sit bones. Inhale, reaching for sky through the right arm. Exhale from the core, rotating. And find the variation that works well for you. You can hug shin and outer thigh, fingertips to mat, gaze over shoulder. You may also create a right angle with that elbow, place it on top of the thigh to assist. This is a deeper rotation. Palm of hand to the mat. Strong and lifted through collarbones and heart center. Gaze is soft and steady. Firmly flexed through the right foot, continuing to press the leg into the mat, staying soft through the back of the knee as you do so. Present with the breath. Perhaps growing a little taller through the spine and sides of the waist. Maybe exploring a little deeper into the rotation as you breathe. One more inhale. As you exhale, return back through center. Keep the left knee bent, but this time we'll place the sole of the foot on the inner thigh. And we'll allow the knee to fall gently toward the mat. And you can place a pillow or a block out here to support the hip opening, or simply let it be. Inhale, lift, reach for sky. Exhale, fold forward halfway. Check in with your body here at the halfway point as you inhale. And exhale, find the variation that works well for you. That can mean palms here, forearms. You can reach a little further past the foot. Or if it feels good, hooking the hands around arch and ball of a flexed foot. Continue to press the sole of the left foot into the thigh and vice versa. So there's a connection between the body and itself. Shoulder blades anchor down the back, the chest continues to reach forward. Long spine and strong, pulling up through the core. Maybe allowing gravity to assist that left knee, floating further down toward the earth, opening through the hip joint. And maybe allowing the rhythm of breath to help you explore deeper dimensions of the stretch, of the elongation of the hamstrings. One more inhale. As you exhale, using legs and arms to walk yourself back to an upright seated position. Straighten out that left leg. Beautiful. Find yourself in an upright staff pose. Inhale. Exhale one last time. Walk those fingers back behind you. Rolling the elbows and shoulder blades toward each other. See if you can go a little deeper this time. A little more opening through the chest. And if you'd like some more, you can bring the palms to the mat beneath the shoulders or slightly behind. Strong and lifted through the core to support the opening here. Flexing through both feet. Strong, steady gaze forward. One more inhale. As you exhale, mindfully come back through center, and we'll come into tabletop position. So situate yourself, knees beneath the hips, hands beneath the shoulders, the fingers are spread wide. Core is lifting up to support the spine, and we'll move through hip circles here. First sending the hips back, moving through the left, arcing forward, side, and back. So move through these circles, mindfully aware of every point of the revolution here. Noticing where your body opens easily, where it feels balanced, and where maybe it needs a little extra TLC. And as you reach the base of this last circle, reverse the circle. And maybe go a little deeper into the places where your body needs to open as you move. My body's creaking and cracking over here. Take one more. Come to the base of the circle, and then wave and return yourself to tabletop. Press the floor away. And we'll go through a few cycles of cat-cow here. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, curl the tailbone into the body, round the spine, relax the neck. Inhale, lifting tailbone, reaching chest forward and lift the gaze. So move with the rhythm of your own breathing here, allowing the breath to initiate movement through the body. Really coming to the fullness of range of motion and the fullness of the breath moving together. Beautiful. Take one more cycle of cat-cow here. And as you're ready, return to tabletop. On the inhale, the right leg extends back and lifts parallel to the floor. You can pointer flex. Make sure we're not releasing the low back, but rather firming into support and reaching forward out of it. As we remain in this posture, you're also welcome to reach forward through the left hand for a little extra core heat and balance. The gaze is forward and the shoulders draw down the back as the chest reaches forward. Action and counteraction. One line of energy from toes reaching back and fingers reaching forward if they are lifted. See if you can find a little extra strength and lift in your stance as you breathe into it. And on the next exhale, returning back to tabletop. Inhale, left leg reaches back, lifts parallel to the floor. Supported belly button to spine. You can remain here or start to lift fingers off the floor if you're playing with balance. Or fully lift and reach forward. Long through sides of the waist, lifted and firm through the front body. Allow the gaze to remain forward and focused on one point only. Keep the breath smooth and steady as the body works to provide balance and length. One more inhale. Exhale, returning back to tabletop. Inhale, right leg extends back, lifts parallel to the floor, and bends at the knees. We're going for about 90 degrees here. The foot can be pointed or flexed, whatever feels better. And the foot continues to lift high toward the ceiling, lifting up and out of the lumbar spine here. You're welcome also to play with balance. You can lift to the fingertips or reach them fully forward. Nice and long through the spine and sides of the waist, lifted and broad through the chest. Feel your connection to the mat and allow the rooting down to rebound up through a strong stance. And for the last few breath cycles, if you'd like, you're welcome to reach the left hand around and take the top of the foot, pressing the foot into the hand. Continue to reach that chest forward, pulling belly button in and up. Hamstrings and glutes are very active here. Low back is long. One more inhale. And as you exhale, return mindfully back down to tabletop. Reset your hips and shoulders. Inhale, left leg extends back, lifts parallel to the mat, bending at the knee, 90 degrees. Pointed or flexed, and continue to press that leg up toward the ceiling. You can start to play with balance, come to fingertips, fist, or reach forward fully. The gaze is focused forward as the chest lifts and broadens. Firming belly button in and up to create length through the low back. For the next few breath cycles, you can remain exploring your posture, or you can take the right hand around to the top of the foot, pushing foot into hand and vice versa, creating lift. Glutes are active, left palm firming into the mat to create lift through the chest. See if you can lift a little higher. Remain steady through the breathing. One more inhale, and as you exhale mindfully, return yourself back to tabletop. Stretch out the wrists, taking the back of the hand to the mat, maybe pulling back. And flipping that, take the palm to the mat, fingers towards you. And we'll do the other side as well, back of the hand to the mat. And reverse, palm to the mat, fingers towards you. Beautiful. Coming back to tabletop. On the inhale, the right leg extends back but stays connected to the mat. So in this position here, your right hand is staying connected to the mat, and you will start to lift and open. We're coming into a rotation. So inhale to elongate, and exhale, begin your rotation from the core, opening and developing up through the fingertips. You want one line of energy from the right palm up through chest, left fingertips lift the gaze. Feel your connection to the mat and allow the rooting down to rebound up into a nice, tall, expansive lift. If you'd like a little extra, you're welcome to bring the toes to the mat and start to lift that right leg up off the floor. Breath is steady. Continue to open through the body, rotate through the spine. Shoulders down the back. And for the next couple breath cycles, you can remain here or take the left hand and wrap it around the inside crease of the hip. One more inhale. Exhale, mindfully returning back down to tabletop. Recenter hips and shoulders. Inhale, extending left leg back. Connect the ball of the foot to the floor, straighten the leg. Left hand remains as we inhale. Exhale, rotating from center, rib cage, shoulder, and developing up toward the ceiling. Strong and steady through the bottom arm and the back thigh. Reaching high through the fingers, the shoulders melt down the back. Soft gaze. You are also welcome to come to the toes or start to lift the left leg up off the floor. Smooth breath and focused mind. Continue to lift, and for the next few breath cycles, you can remain here. You can lift higher, or Sweep that arm around and wrap it into the crease of the hip. Spine is long, sides of the waist elongated. One more inhale. As you exhale, mindfully returning back to tabletop. Beautiful. From here, we'll thread the needle. Take the left hand forward. Right hand threads underneath. Outer edge of the shoulder blade comes to the mat. Pressing into the floor through the left palm. Belly button to spine. You can remain here, or if you'd like to sweep the left hand around and hook it into the front hip crease for further rotation and shoulder opening. Tops of the feet pressing into the mat, hips are lifted. Staying mindfully aware of breath and remembering the intention you've set for your practice today, seeing if you can embody that energy. One more inhale. As you exhale, return back through center. Inhale, extending right arm forward. And exhale, threading left hand underneath. Reaching the fingertips away. You can remain here, pressing right palm into the mat, reaching forward through the left hand. Hips are lifted, opening through the rib cage. And if you'd like a little extra for the shoulders, you can take the right hand around, hook it into the crease of the hip. Breath is full and smooth, rooting down through tops of the feet. Perhaps rotating further as you take your last couple breath cycles here. And on the exhale, returning through center and coming back into tabletop. From here we'll come into forearm plank, resting the elbows beneath the shoulders. Outer edges of the forearms connected to the mat. Palms pressing and fingers are wide. Walk the feet back, hips distance. And allow the hips to descend so we're not lifted. We're also not slouching into the posture. Widen shoulder blades away from each other and pull the mat towards you in order to bring the chest forward and lift the gaze. Steady the breath. And if you'd like, on the inhale, you can lift the left leg, keep it flexed, and hold it here for a few breaths. Release it down and lift the right. Flexing, pressing back as the chest reaches forward. Release it down and come back up into tabletop. Good. From here, we'll return back down to the mat. Hips return to the mat. Walk yourself down. We'll come in and out of bridge pose here. So set up a solid base through the feet. Inner thighs are active. If you have a block, you can hold it between the inner thighs. It's great training. Forearms, palms press into the mat. And on the inhale, curl the tailbone into the body and lift. Peel the spine up off the floor. Exhale, returning one vertebra at a time back down to the mat. Inhale, curl and lift. Exhale, return. Really rooting down into the floor through the soles of the feet as you move. Maybe going a little higher and longer each time. And this last one will hold. Peel the spine up off the mat. So you can remain in this bridge pose. Nice and open through the chest. You can also interlace the fingers beneath the back and roll the shoulders underneath, outer edges of the forearms. Press into the mat to reach the hips away. Tailbone elongates out away from the rib cage, lengthening through sides of the waist. Smooth, steady breath, strong core. One more inhale, and as you exhale, mindfully returning back down to the mat, one vertebra at a time. Beautiful, recenter the spine. Take the outer edge of the right foot, top of the left thigh. If you feel a stretch here, you can remain. You can also assist by gently pressing the knee away from you, or you can hug the left thigh in. Fingers around the hamstring or fingers around the shin. Both feet are flexed. If you are in this position, just make sure that your tailbone nor your shoulders are coming up with you. We stay firmly rooted into the earth. Breathing into the hip opening here. Maybe hugging the thigh in or opening the knee further. Whatever you're feeling today. One more inhale. As you exhale, return the left foot to the mat and the right foot presses up to the ceiling. Soft through back of the knee. You can remain here. You can also interlace the fingers behind the hamstring, behind the calf muscle, or outer edges of the feet. The left knee is firming in toward midline of the body. You can also straighten the leg out. Any variation is welcome here. Shoulders melt into the mat. Perhaps exploring a little deeper into the pose, staying flexed through that right foot. And on the exhale, bending the right knee, returning it down to the mat. And outer edge of the left foot, top of the thigh. You can remain here. Gently press the knee away if it feels okay. And you can hug the right thigh to the chest. Fingers beneath the hamstring or top of the shin. Really open and broad through the chest, anchored through the tip of the tailbone, and opening through the hips. Continuing to stay present through the breathing. Strong, steady rhythm of breath. Present with the intention and how you're embodying that energy through each posture. One more inhale. As you exhale, return the right foot to the mat and press the left foot up toward the ceiling. Soft bend in the back of the knee. And again, you can interlace fingers behind hamstring, behind the calf muscle, or outer edges of a flexed foot. That right thigh is firming in toward midline of the body. You can remain there. You can also straighten the leg out, just sending it down toward the mat. Any variation is welcome. Beautiful. Perhaps exploring a little deeper into the hip opening for the last couple breath cycles. And on the last exhale, bending the knee and returning it to the mat. And if there's any last movement that your body would like before the final resting posture, go ahead and take it. And then we will elongate the legs out a little wider than the hips. Arms roll out to the sides. And we'll take 3 cleansing breaths here. So as you breathe in through the nose, you expand through the belly and the lungs, and you hold at the top. And as you exhale, you compress the low abdomen and exhale out the back of the throat and an open mouth. So take a breath, exhale everything out, let it go. And we begin. Inhale, hold, and exhale, release. Inhale, expand, create space, and exhale, release. Last time, inhale, expand, expand, and exhale, let it go. And let go of any effort in the breathing. Maybe allowing the body to grow heavy into the mat. And we'll take 60 seconds of quiet. As you're ready, start to bring your awareness back into this body, into this space. Wiggle the fingers and the toes, rolling wrists and ankles. Hug one knee into the chest and the other. You can rock side to side. And as you are ready, rolling off to one side, resting head on the arm, connecting for a moment with the earth. And using hands, press yourself up, cross-legged seated position. Palms together at heart center. And take a moment to thank yourself for making space and time for self-care practice and intention in your life. Maybe feeling the attention and energy that you've cultivated and set for yourself, and carrying that into the rest of your day. Inhale. And exhale, bowing head to heart to seal the practice. Namaste. Beautiful. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you for joining me, for practicing. I always love to hear your intentions, so please comment and share. If you guys have requests or questions, I am right here, so please do ask. And have an amazing day. Love you guys.